Today, we're talking about the debt ceiling. We've heard all these talks within the legislature of whether or not to raise that debt ceiling. So let's bring in financial analyst Steve Budin to discuss just what exactly that debt ceiling is. Steve, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so we've talked about this before in our newscast, but we haven't been able to take a deeper dive into what exactly this is and why people should care.
We'll try to get it done in a couple of minutes. Think of the debt ceiling as the U.S. government's credit limit. So for you and me, we may have credit cards, and those credit cards have certain limits. Well, the U.S. government spends money, and they spend a lot of it. What happens usually every couple of years is we've been racking up debt, and I've mentioned this. So what the U.S. government has to do every couple of years is increase their credit line. So Congress has to approve what's called a debt ceiling increase to allow itself to spend the money that they've authorized, whether it's Social Security checks, military payments, government contractors. The Congress can't spend the money, or the Treasury can't spend the money unless Congress authorizes it. And this is the dance that we're going through right now.
How does that impact how other countries see us? We were chatting before this, kind of comparing this to having some sort of contract out for work to be done in your own home.
Right. Think about doing work in your house and you hire a contractor. You might sign a contract, let's say in July, for the work to be done in October. Well, if you begin to run out of money in September, the contractor is going to get a little nervous and get a little bit worried about getting paid for the job. So that might require the contractor to say to you, you know what, I may need more money down, or I may not do the job next time unless you pay me for the job that I've already done. So that's what's happening in the U.S. government right now is, the world's looking at us and they're going to say, I'm not so sure I want to invest in the United States if my risk of getting paid is decreasing. And the concern I have is, for the average viewer, that trickles down to us because the overall interest rates you might pay on a mortgage, on an auto loan, on your credit cards, a lot of those interest rates are pegged to the interest rate the U.S. government pays. So if the interest rate the U.S. government pays goes up because of the risk goes up a little bit, it does trickle down to each and every one of us. And this is absolutely no way to run a government, and the politicians should be ashamed of themselves.
And that answers the question whether or not a debt ceiling actually impacts the everyday person. And the answer is yes.
Yeah, it definitely does.
All right, Steve, thanks for your time today. We'll have more of this on our website as well at KTNV13’s.com, and we'll be right back after this.